5, 4, 3, 2. Realtors, you're in the right spot.
We're going to do this together.
Welcome to the Leading Edge Podcast.
These mentors showed me a map of success.
This is the place for real estate pros like you to get better at running your business, balancing your life, and having happy clients.
Do you know how powerful you are?
And now your host, Eric Thompson.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your good friend Eric Thompson on the Leading Edge Podcast, episode number 91. This episode is called Be in Demand. My friends, I hope you are all amazing. Thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate it. Life is fantastic for me. I'm recording this in kind of mid to late ski season, and it's been an amazing ski season. Me and Team Blonde have been having so much fun. It's been incredible. Business is incredible. Lots of new people joining the mastermind, the 200K mastermind. By the way, today's topic, if you want to go further with this, like really develop the skills to enhance your demand, go ahead and join the 200K mastermind. Go to erict200k.com, ERICT200k.com. There's no $sign in there, erict200k.com. Get yourself signed up. Join all the people that are joining this mastermind to go all the way in with being in demand. Okay, the reason why I'm making this episode is because I see and I know that a lot of you right now have fewer transactions happening than you would like. All right, I want to help you with that. I also want to help you with a mindset that you might be having, which is, oh my gosh, there's nothing going on, or there's not enough going on. That's not a helpful mindset. We're going to shift that to making you see and making you feel that you are in demand. I'm going to give you a formula for that, and I'm going to help you to see also that being in demand is where it's at right now, okay? So we don't want to be too focused on the number of transactions that we do or don't have in escrow under contract right now, and I know that's where the income comes from, but we need to understand that what happens ahead of that, what happens in advance of having a buyer or seller under contract in escrow is you being in demand and people being attracted to you in the first place. So that is what we're going to have you focus on, all right? So really the test is for you right now, and kind of the moment of truth, the gut check, the thing to examine is, are you in demand? So are you in demand? That is the question. The test is not so much what do you have under contract right now, what do you have in escrow, and I know that's important. Like, I don't want to discount the importance of that, but if that is the only focus right now for you to test if you're, quote, successful or not successful, only looking at what you have under contract in escrow, you have potential to kind of give yourself a hard time or for you to feel down on yourself, where instead I want you to be testing, am I in demand? That's the question I want you asking yourself. All right, am I in demand? Regardless of what I have under contract or in escrow right now, regardless of how many listings I have right now, am I in demand? I'm just going to look at that first, all right? First things first, am I in demand? First things first, before I get too wound up in what's under contract, how many listings do I have, am I in demand? And so now you're asking yourself, okay, well, how do I know? How do I know if I'm in demand? There are two ways, both really simple. Way number one is, do you have people being added to your pipeline? A lot of you would call that your hot or warm list, and it's just simply a list of people who are telling you that they may want to do something at some point in the future, where they're saying, yeah, you know what, Eric, actually, yes, we are thinking about selling one day. Yeah, we can see ourselves buying one day. We have this or that going on in our life. We think it's time. Can you connect us to a lender? Can you help us with the process, or anything like that? So that's test number one. Are you having names being added to your list of people who may do something in the future? Way number two, method number two to test if you are in demand, and this one is a little more, let's say, not as obvious, but really fun. The other way to test is, are you getting questions? Are you getting real estate related questions? Are people reaching out to you to say, hey, we need a roofer, we need a landscaper, we need a plumber, or my sister is buying a property in Michigan and she's having some trouble I thought maybe you could give her some advice, or I wanted to reach out to you with this question, anything like that. Are you getting those kinds of questions? Are you getting questions from people about what's their property worth, maybe for tax reasons or something like that? Hey, we're thinking about investing in real estate. Are you getting questions? So if you're in demand. One is the obvious way, our names being added to your list of potential future prospects, or are you getting questions? Okay. So then, now that we understand how to test if you're in demand, then it kind of begs the question, all right, so how do I create demand? All right, I want to be in demand. Yes, Eric, I get it. Like, duh, I want to be in demand, just like any entrepreneur. So how do I do that? So check it out, you guys. This is kind of fun. This is kind of cool. There are only two things that matter. When it comes to being in demand, there are only two things that count. There are only two things that matter. There are only two things you need to think about, two things to focus on, two pieces of the formula, however you want to say it. And these are really fun. All right. Thing number one is how you think about you. And way number two is how your clients think about you. Like, that's it. That's all that creates demand. How are you thinking about you? And how are your clients thinking about you? All right. So are you with me on that? So like if you think about you, yeah, you know what? I'm a friendly, helpful expert. And your clients, the way they think about you is, you know what? That person, he or she, they're a friendly, helpful expert. Can you see that that's where it's at? Like that's the key. We just need to go all in on just those two things. All right. So we need to be conscious of how we're thinking about us, and we need to be mindful of how we can influence how our clients think about us. Right. So what gets really interesting about this, and what's so important to understand, is the way your clients think about you is based on how you think about you. Okay. So their thoughts about you are a reflection of how you think about you. So where this is going to kind of end up is it all starts with you. It all starts with how you think about you. So let's just keep this super simple, right? Super simple, basic to make this point. If the way you think about you is, if you're saying to yourself anything related to being unsure, where you're like, you know what, I'm not so sure that I'm good at this. I'm not so sure about how to help this kind of a seller. I'm not so sure about how to list this kind of property. I'm not so sure about the market. I'm not so sure myself about where prices are going. I'm not so sure myself about if now would be a good time to buy. I'm not so sure myself about the process or the steps or how to do this. Like if you're saying, I'm just not so sure about how to do this, what are your clients going to say about you? Like how are they going to think about you? And can you see now that it's really likely that they may say something like, or think something like, they're super nice, they're great person, but they're just, they just don't seem quite sure of themselves. They just don't seem quite sure of how this works. I don't know. It's just something about them. Like they just didn't seem quite so sure. Or they may say, you know what, I'm just not sure. Like I liked them, like nice, but I'm just not sure if they're the right fit. Can you see that they're just like catching your thought? It's like a reflection. It's almost like your thoughts about you are contagious. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that so interesting? Another one that's an example I see a lot is realtors who are newer to the business, and with the way they think about themselves is being new to the business, right? So when they're saying to themselves over and over about themselves, and they're saying, you know what, I'm just new. I'm just a new person. I'm just new. I'm still a new realtor. I'm still kind of new at this. It may cause, and it's really likely to cause, the client to say to themselves, or even say out loud, they're great, but they're just kind of new. I just think they're just kind of new to this, and maybe we should go find someone more experienced. All right. So do you get this? Do you understand this? Do you get how important it is to be really aware of how you're thinking about you? Now, let's clean up one thing that you may be thinking already is, well, does that mean I have to like make up stuff about me? Like, what if I am new? Now, here's the thing. We're not going to lie, right? We're not going to lie to ourselves. If you've been around me for any period of time, I'm not a fan of the whole fake it till you make it. And if you are, that's great. But I'm not a fan of that, because kind of in my mind, that implies that we're not going to be truthful, right? That we're going to tell ourselves a lie, that we're going to make something up, like we're going to fake a thought about ourselves. And no, we're not going to fake it. All right. We're not going to stuff up. We're not going to lie to ourselves about ourselves. We're going to pick a thought about ourselves that's true, that's going to be really helpful and effective, much more effective than I'm not sure. Okay, so let's flip that around. And if you said to yourself, you know what, I'm really good at this. I'm really good at what I do. If you say to yourself, I love taking care of people. If you say to yourself, I'm an expert at this. I'm committed to this business. I'm committed to being an expert. I'm committed to really knowing my stuff. I'm committed to helping my people so much through the process. I'm really good at this. I'm really good at what I do. I'm just all in on improving every single day because I'm really good at this. Can you see when you're saying that about you, now it's really likely that the way the client will think about you is they'll say, you know what? Not only are they nice, but they're just really good. They seem to be really good at this. It just seems like they're good at this. Like I feel good about them. I feel like I really trust them. Like I think they're the right person because they just seem to be really good at this. Can you see that? Right? Can you totally see that? Now, another thing I want to clean up that you may be wondering and thinking about is, all right, Eric, you're saying that the key to demand and being in demand is how my clients think about me and also how I think about me. But like, what about my actions? And what about like the things I'm actually doing? Isn't that kind of important too? Isn't it more than just how I think? Isn't it what I do? And my response is yes. And the deal is you're going to do things that line up with how you think about you, right? So my point is it all starts with how you think. It's exactly related. Whatever you're going to do starts with how you think about you and how you think about whatever you're doing. Okay, so let me make an example, or I'll use an example to make this point. I do a lot of presenting, not just on this podcast. I do a lot of in-person presenting, and thank goodness I'm doing a lot more live presenting. I love me some Zoom calls. I do lots of Zooms, but now I'm also doing a lot of live presenting again. And can you see that? Like, imagine me before I go on stage, whether it's a real stage or a virtual stage, if I'm saying to myself, oh my gosh, I'm not sure about this. I don't know. I'm not sure about this content. I'm not sure if I'm the right one to teach it. I'm not sure how they're going to think about me. I'm just not sure. So if I go on stage with those thoughts running through my head, what are the actions I'm going to take? All right. So making this point again about your thoughts will definitely create your actions, like more than influence your actions. Like your actions stem from your thoughts. Can you see if I'm on stage with thoughts like that running through my head, all thoughts related to being unsure, how am I going to act? Like, what are you going to notice about my actions? Well, I'm going to be nervous. I'm going to be scattered. I'm going to kind of stumble and fumble, stammer on my words. I'll be hard to understand. I won't be clear. I'll be fidgety. Okay, like all those things. All those actions stemming from those thoughts of I'm not sure. Whereas if before I go on stage, I'm saying to myself, truthfully, you know what? This is going to be great. I know this is helpful to the audience. Like, I have no doubt that what I've put together here will 100% help them. This is exactly what they need to hear right now. This is proven. I know this works. I know I'm the right person to teach this. I'm so looking forward to this. I love helping people. I love doing this. I love to help people. And I love this lesson that I've put together. And I so look forward to adding value to these people and really helping them out. All right, so if I roll up on stage thinking that, what actions are you going to notice from me? Like, what will you notice from me? You're going to notice me being super confident, very like grounded, very clear, very articulate. You'll notice me being valuable. You'll notice me being engaging. You'll notice me being energizing, right? All those things, all stemming from simply how I was thinking about me and what I was going to deliver before I went on stage. So same goes for you. Same goes for you, is it starts with your thinking, because your thinking will definitely influence, and more than influence, your actions. Your actions really stem from your thinking, because here's the thing, your brain wants to be correct. Okay, your brain just wants to be right. And all respect to our brain, like that's a normal, natural thing. All right, props to our brain for wanting to be right. So when our brain is having a thought of like, I got this, I'm really good at this, I so enjoy this, this is good stuff, I am good at you, I'm very sure of this, then what's going to happen is your brain is going to work to line up your actions with that thought, because your brain wants to prove itself to be right. So that's why, again, why it's so effective to and so important to have these kinds of thoughts, because your actions are going to flow right from those thoughts, and because your brain wants to be right, you're like going to get in alignment with your behavior, and your beliefs will line up because your brain wants to be correct. Okay, all of that being said, let's go back to the two things that matter: how you think about you and how your clients think about you. So how do we need our clients to think about us? If we're going to be in demand, if we want to be in demand, that is the goal. Yes, say it with me now. I'm sure that is the goal for you. You want to be in demand. So what do our clients need to be thinking when it comes to us? As they think about us, what do they need to think? What's required in their brain in order for them to feel a demand to use us, right? Like for them to feel compelled in a really healthy, positive, authentic way, right? Like they really want to work with us. They want our help. How do they need to think about us? It's so simple. They need to think, number one, they are friendly and helpful. So your clients, as they think about you, they need to think about you. You know what? They are so friendly and helpful. I really enjoy them. They're a great person. And sure, you could add trust in there too. Trust is really important. If they think about you, you know what? They're a friendly, helpful person, super trustworthy, really enjoy their company, love being around them, super friendly, super helpful. That is going to help you. And then the only other thing they need to think about you is, wow, they really know their stuff. Let's just say if it were me, that Eric, he's friendly and helpful, and he really knows his stuff. So imagine them, your clients, talking about you to one of their friends. Hey, do you know any good realtors? Or, hey, you just did a real estate transaction. Or, hey, don't you know some realtors? We could use a realtor. And then if they bring you up, they're going to say, yeah, well, here's the thing. Here's my recommendation. And what I'll tell you is they're very friendly and helpful, and wow, do they really know their stuff. And don't you think that kind of covers it? Don't you think it's like, check? Don't you think that other person's going to be like, sweet, perfect, because the kind of person I want to work with, the kind of person I want help from, is someone who's friendly and helpful, and I want help from someone who knows their stuff. So now you know where this is going based on all the things I did at the beginning of this podcast. You know where this is going. If we need our clients to think that we are friendly and helpful and we know our stuff, what needs to happen? We need to think about us, that we're friendly and helpful, and that we know our stuff. That's all you got to do. So the way you think about you is you think, oh my gosh, I am so friendly and helpful. I am a friendly, helpful person who really knows their stuff. Another way to sum that up may be, I'm a friendly, helpful expert. I am a friendly, helpful expert. Like if that was your mantra every day, I am a friendly, helpful expert. Or I'm a friendly, helpful person who really knows their stuff. I'm a friendly, helpful person who's committed to this business, to this industry, to really knowing my stuff, to improving every day. Whatever it's going to be for you, like put it in your words. Can you see that is going to be good, right? Can you see now there's a really good chance that your clients are going to think that too, because you started thinking at first about you. And what I love about that little phrase, I'm a friendly, helpful expert, is any of you can fully adopt that as a true statement. Okay? Even if you're newer to the business, you can say that, because you know what? You're like here engaging with this podcast, which tells me you're someone who really likes to learn, and you've probably been learning a whole lot along the way. You're probably surrounded by a bunch of other experts. So yes, you are an expert. all of you, you're experts. All of you are friendly and helpful. You wouldn't be here in the first place. The other thing I love about being friendly and helpful as a thought is it gets you out of that trap of being worried that you're going to be pushy and salesy, because what you've already learned from me is the opposite of being pushy is to be helpful. So when you tell yourself that you're friendly and helpful, there you are being friendly and helpful, and there you are not being pushy and salesy and cheesy and corny, right? So there you go. Now I'm going to finish just with one quick little bonus, right? A bonus is you can add to that thought about you. You can add in a very authentic and also very humble way. You can say, as an addition, I am in demand. So if you want to be in demand, have a thought of, you know what, I'm in demand. And say it humbly, not arrogantly. It's got to be humble. And it's led with, I'm a friendly, helpful expert. And you know what, I'm in demand. I'm in demand. I'm in demand. Like I have good stuff. I have a lot of value to offer. I have a lot of help I can bring. I'm so committed to this. I'm in demand. I'm an in-demand realtor. So when you can say that, again, authentically, humbly, that's like a fun little bonus, right? You can like throw a turbocharger on all this. Okay, you guys, was this good? Was this helpful? Did you get some takeaways from this? Feel free, however you're listening to this, you can drop some comments on the Facebook page or drop some comments however that you listen to this. Give me a review too. That's always helpful. Again, if you want to go all the way with this, like really see how to get yourself in demand, then go to erict200k.com. All right, for real. Like you go there, sign up, engage, get coached by me. Away we go. And all the value that you get. And like now's the time to do this. Like you want to do this. erict200k.com. Join all the people who are joining now. You guys, thank you so much for engaging with this podcast. I can't wait to see you on the next one. In the meantime, enjoy life on the leading edge. Bye.